This is Eitan Weinstein.
And I'm Naor Menninger, and you're listening to Two Nice Jewish Boys.
This podcast is sponsored by The Forward. Stay up to date with unlimited access to news, culture, and opinion all through a Jewish lens. And for our listeners, for 2NJB listeners, get 6 months of The Forward for $15. An exclusive subscription offer for our listeners, forward.com/2NJB, and get 6 months for $15. Also in collaboration with Arutz Sheva, IsraelNationalNews.com. And last but not least, in collaboration with Australian Jewish News, check them out at ajn.timesofisrael.com. Yesterday, Joe Biden was sworn in as President of the United States of America and Kamala Harris as the first female vice president in American history. With them, Israel waved goodbye to one of the friendliest American administrations in modern history. And if that's not enough, Israel is on its own way to an inauguration. First, of course, we got to get through another election, the fourth in 2 years. And meanwhile, Israel has extended the lockdown for another 10 days, while the national vaccination effort is progressing at unprecedented speed. We'll be discussing all this and more today with a great friend and an old guest of the podcast and an Instagram sensation, Hanania Naftali.
TikTok also.
TikTok, all the platforms. So while serving in the IDF, Hanania was unable to turn a blind eye to all the fake news that he was hearing about Israel. So he decided to do something about it. Fast forward 4 years, he's got huge followings on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We are super thrilled to be joined by Hanania Naftali. Before we get into the episode, this episode is sponsored by Massa Israel Journey. Okay?
You heard about Massa Israel, Hanania?
Yeah.
They're amazing.
They're terrific.
Yeah. They basically an organization that helps young Jews and people with a relationship with like ancestors, Jewish ancestors, come here, experience Israel, get to know it. Maybe there are internships. Did you know, Hanania, that you can go to their website and post an internship?
Oh, really?
If you're looking for an intern who will help you with your amazing endeavors, you can go to massaisrael.org/2nicejewishboys and post an internship offer. And you'll have Massa interns applying to you for internship and
That's
help
amazing.
you out.
Yeah, people coming to Israel for
Brilliant.
a unique experience, helping you out with your business. So anybody who's got a business, who's got some kind of venture here in Israel, go to massaisrael.org/2nicejewishboys. That's spelled out TWO, Nice Jewish Boys. And yeah, so Massa Israel Journey, guys, you gotta check it out. Either if you have a venture that you're looking for interns for, or if you are from the States or from anywhere around the world and you're interested coming to Israel, having an amazing experience. You don't need to know Israel. You don't need to know Hebrew. All you need to do is go to Massa Israel Journey, massaisrael.org/2nicejewishboys.
Yeah. So highly recommended. Check them out. And of course, this is a way to help us. If you like the podcast,
Yes,
then send this link to your loved ones. And this is how you show support to the show.
absolutely. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
today.
you.
So you
guys.
and Trump have something in common. I just realized.
We both of us love Israel. Yeah.
You both got
Yes.
blocked by
Okay.
Twitter.
Two things. They both got blocked on TikTok.
Oh, yeah,
Really?
that's true. That's true.
Tell us the story.
Oh, that's actually an interesting story because, I made a TikTok where I basically thanked President Trump for the things that he had done for Israel, because we all know that whether you love him or not, he has done tremendous things. Well, he loves this word, tremendous. So yeah, President he has done a lot of things for the sake of Israel, and I wanted to thank him. So I made this TikTok video, and a minute after I uploaded this video, I got blocked. Oh, this video got blocked on TikTok for saying that I'm promoting terrorist organizations and terrorists. Literally.
What?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Wait,
I mean,
was it recently? Was it like
it was
a few months ago.
after
a
the
few months ago,
before the attack on the Capitol?
during the
Yeah.
election. During the
Yeah.
election.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would say you could go and open an account on Parlor, but that's not
They
gonna work
too
out.
got banned, and it's actually it frightens me, not because I used to use Parler all the time, but because I think that it's an attack on freedom of speech. Because hey, if you're going to block President Trump, so why aren't you blocking Ali Khamenei, the dictator in Iran that slaughters his own people, jails journalists,
Yeah.
hangs?
Now you're talking about Twitter, though. I don't think Khamenei has a TikTok account.
No,
No, but
not
Twitter,
yet.
yeah.
Not
Twitter.
yet. Hey,
Okay.
it not
It's
yet.
only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Before he starts doing lip syncing to Justin Bieber.
Right. But we should distinct, I think, between TikTok and Twitter, right? Because just in the sense that to expect from TikTok, which is a Chinese espionage, basically, app covered as a youngling's viral clip app, to expect for them to respect your freedom of speech is ridiculous, right?
No, so they actually respected my freedom of speech because you mentioned that they blocked my account. So they actually did that after I published a video of me waving the UAE flag and saying, "Hey, you are all welcomed in Israel. We wish to have more peace." So after that, my account got blocked on TikTok.
So it was because you were waving a UAE flag? And
Yeah,
they said
yeah,
that's
in
supporting-
Jerusalem, and I said we're so excited for this peace agreement. But then I think I made a video or I made a post on social media saying, "Hey, let's demand answers from TikTok. Why did you block me for promoting peace?" And then they, I got my account back.
They dealt with the wrong Jew.
Really?
Oh,
they gave it
yeah.
back.
Oh, yeah.
They gave it back.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
I have my TikTok
That's
back.
good.
Yeah.
The benevolent Chinese ruler. That's so
Well, you ended
wonderful.
up. It's your fate was better than Jack Ma's. Apparently.
Yeah, but a lot of people they
Right.
don't like TikTok and they say that hey, it's a spy app and everything. But I mean, I believe in using every platform that I have to promote Israel, to promote peace, and whether people love it or not, TikTok is one of the leading apps nowadays. So I
Yeah.
think that it's a great platform to.
You're willing to pay the price to sacrifice your intimate photos on your phone for that cause of promoting Israel.
Well, if photos of Jerusalem are intimate, so yeah.
Is that what you
be,
call
be
it?
my guest.
Jerusalem?
No, but
No,
it's something that
Yeah.
I think it's
It's
I'm
important
not
to-
not dancing on TikTok
Not yet.
not yet, but talking is enough.
But isn't
Nice.
it? But that's a scary precedent, right? The fact that they precedent.
Oh, I thought you were saying scary president.
No, scary
It's
precedent.
easy to confuse the two today.
Unprecedented. decision.
Unprecedented.
No, but seriously though, don't you feel like it was the first of more to come? Essentially, this ban
For who? For him personally,
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
ban of
for him and for
Trump
everyone.
and-
The,
oh, okay.
It's I didn't think about it too much. I did what I had to do to get my account back, and it's actually interesting that after they saw my posts on social media, because they actually got in touch with me later.
they have
sent me an email.
representatives in Israel.
No, I think I got an email from Ireland. So yeah, then they said, hey, if you have any trouble in the future, so get in touch with us directly. So it means that when you use social media to say, hey, TikTok, why did you ban me? Apparently it works because
for now.
it got me my account back.
No,
Yeah.
but I think in general it's a positive thing actually. The banning of Trump, for example, and generally the banning of prominent individuals on Twitter and Facebook. Because I'll tell you why.
You
I
think that it's positive?
Yeah, I
Why?
think it's first of all. I believe in freedom of speech and freedom in general, and I think in America, you should be able, as a private company, to do whatever the hell you want. But I think what it's going to do is, I think it's positive because
Set
of the
free.
backfire. I think it's going to set free the market. So basically, you have AWS, right, which was able to shut down Parler, and I think a lot of companies are going to start saying, "Wait a second." I mean, Parler arose in and of itself because Facebook and Twitter weren't, spaces for free speech. So they came to compete that. So I think there's going to be now like server providers like AWS. They're going to say, hey, we're not going to shut you down no matter what, unless you break the law. And then there's going to be competition. And hopefully there'll be more,
But in the meantime, people like Hanani, I feel, are in danger because, the distance.
They're on the front line.
Yes, but the distance, let's take a platform like Twitter, right? Which is even more extreme than Facebook in this sense, right? So the distance between shutting down Trump because of what he said to shutting down Hanania a year from now, like if Hanania tweets, I don't know, that Israel is not occupying the territories, okay? Let's say in a year from now, that might be a bannable tweet on Twitter.
It's scary to this kind of thought is scary because also when they take action against you or against your account, it's not like you have an address to come to. Mm-hmm. So it's basically you're on your own, and so it's scary because nowadays social media is how human beings communicate. Unfortunately. All around the world. I mean, it has positive aspects, but also negative aspects because they control what you can say, what you cannot say. And listen, I'm all for banning those that violate the law, those that incite hatred and murders and terrorism.
Inciting hatred is subjective, right?
It's of course
subjective.
It's subjective.
To many people, you do that, right? To many people,
saying that Israel has the right to exist is
for many people, yeah.
It's blind hate, of course. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. It's obviously, in my opinion, it's stupidity to claim such a thing, but it's scary, yeah.
But you got your TikTok account when? A year ago?
No, so it took me like I downloaded the app. And I wanted to learn how to create content for this app. So I was using this app for a few months.
Very complicated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because I had to change the whole way. And, if let's say on Facebook, I create videos that are 3 minutes long or on YouTube that are 8. So on TikTok, it's like, hey, say what you have to say in 20 seconds or I'm gone.
It's designed specifically to people who take Ritalin, I feel, right?
Who take speed and crack.
Well, I'm taking coffees. Does it count?
Hey, it's
I put crack in your coffee.
Well, thanks a lot, my friend.
So wait, so you only got it like less than a year ago?
Yeah.
So you see, that's what I mean. Like, you didn't know 2 years ago you had Facebook, you had Instagram, you had Twitter. You didn't know that there was this other app things can change. So I think in a year from now, when you might tweet that, and hopefully,
you'll have
Twitter
the Weinstein
app.
Yeah,
you'll have Weinstein. You'll be able to Weinstein all over the place.
The Weinstein app.
Yeah, they'll call it whining.
Whoa.
When you instead of tweeting, you whine.
That's whining.
You whine. And you get steens. You get steens. You whine and people steen. People are like, "Oh my God, he's got 20,000 steens on this wine." Okay.
Well, I'm sure that somebody is listening and they're gonna steal your idea.
But you get what I'm saying. Like there'll hopefully be a new app that'll be all about like another parlor
and get banned. Yeah, eventually. No, but I'm optimistic. It's double standards because hey, if I'm saying one thing, it's bannable. But then, let's say Representative Rashida Tlaib, when she spoke like that about the Holocaust, or when she's spreading
what did she say about the Holocaust?
Well, she said that the Holocaust gives her a calm feeling when she thinks of that. Something like that within this perspective, which is, horrible. So, you think about the Holocaust and it gives you a good feeling. Are you out of your mind? And she said that on, I think it was 2 years ago or something. And
you recently also posted something about her.
Yeah, because
this morning I think.
No, that was about Ilhan Omar. I have a special relationship with this squad in the States.
What did you write about Omar?
Well, she came at Mike Pompeo, who was the U.S. Secretary of State, and Prime Minister Netanyahu. And she attacked them for making peace in the Middle East. She basically came at Mike Pompeo saying that he endorsed a far right leader like Prime Minister Netanyahu. So I mean, I asked who advanced occupying, right? Occupying land, Palestinian land. So I said, hey, I have a question for you, Ilhan Omar. What did you do for the sake of the Palestinian people that you speak so passionately about them? Israel actually,
She tweets about them.
well, and that's yeah. Congratulations. I mean, she all she does, just like you said, Eitan, is whining. So
Yeah.
I think she should be the first
On
woman
the
to use
Weinstein
this,
app?
yeah.
I'll see. I don't know. I don't think she'll like the
No.
Weinstein app.
You're gonna ban her.
She's gonna, complain that it's all about the Benjamins. But
That and which is also
yeah.
kind of
An anti-Semitic, remark. Right, right.
So,
right.
it's tough. But what I'm saying is, I'm with you that these things are awful. And if I had my own, the Weinstein app wouldn't ban anybody. But
Anybody?
no, unless you broke the law. My law would be the law. Meaning, if you break the law and the government comes and says you need to take these people off, take them
But
off.
if the government, okay, Hanania doesn't know it maybe, but Eitan is a really anti-lockdown
okay. Yeah,
person.
human being.
Yes.
lizard person.
Lizard person. So if a government legislates that you are not allowed to resist a lockdown,
Yeah.
then in your app, would you delete tweets that resist lockdown?
Now you're getting to the real edge case where you live in under.
We're building an app here, man. we gotta
They're
be thorough.
creating hypothetical scenarios in which you live in a place where the government starts basically acting autocratically, and so
In
that's
Germany-
that's a problem.
In Germany, it's illegal to tweet, right?
Oh, seriously?
In
Yeah.
Germany, you cannot say anti-Semitic things.
There's a
Oh yeah,
concept
yeah.
for
I
it.
thought you were talking about the saying anti-lockdown stuff.
No, not yet.
You
at
can't
least.
talk about Nazis, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
support Nazis, which
Yeah.
you can do in America.
Yeah.
So Twitter,
True.
okay, yeah, it's so complicated, right?
It's a complicated world, but I mean, if you ask me what's my opinion on lockdowns, I think that a lot of people, they don't like this because it limits their freedom.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I mean, the pandemic is real. It's not like it's an invention. Some people, they post on social media that it's a worldwide conspiracy, and the vaccine will get you the 5G chip, and they'll control your movements and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
I dated a girl who thought that.
and
You
it
dated.
ended.
Yeah, it ended. Yeah, that's a deal
After
breaker.
the vaccine.
After the vaccine, yes.
Because she realized that he was working for the Chinese government, and so once she realized that, she was like, "I'm
Yeah,
out
I
of
mean-
here."
No, but I mean, it's something that it's a reality, this pandemic and this. But I mean, listen, a lockdown. I'm not sure that it's the ideal plan, because I mean, now we have a lockdown in Israel, and the numbers continue to rise.
Yeah.
But I think that it's because the mentality of Israelis is still like, hey, so there's this lockdown, and then there's what I'm gonna do about it. I think that outside of Israel, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I was born and raised here in Israel. I think that people they obey everything that the.
I think it depends
call
where.
it sheeple.
Yeah, I think it depends where. In China, yeah, but
In America?
probably
much.
less so. And there's also, it's harder to impose lockdowns in certain places.
I gotta tell you guys something amazing apropos of that, because you can really divide nations according to this lockdown thing, right? Because if you are I feel maybe that if you are a nation that felt the burn of tyranny on its
Yeah.
flesh, right? Then you would be less prone to comply with such very intense limitations and lockdowns, right? And if you're a nation that's less that is used to being ruled, so why I'm saying that, because I just saw this week in Italy, okay,
Yeah.
They are in a lockdown for almost a year. Okay, and they are a 60 million people nation, and their economy was very bad before, and now they have a rebellion.
Oh, really?
All the restaurants, there's a hashtag on Twitter. You should look it up. It says it's called
Pizza.
No, you racist bastard.
No, I'm kidding.
It's called Io Apro, I open.
Oh, really?
And all the restaurant owners earlier this week decided to open.
Obviously, an Italian rebellion would be led by chefs.
No, but and I think it makes sense.
That's racist, actually. What?
Yeah, I know.
What about the Lamborghinis?
Yeah, it's true. They're Lamborghini driving chefs.
The chefs want to be able to buy more Lamborghinis, and they can do that on lockdowns. Yeah. This is what the protest is
about.
They
can only buy Ferraris. It's like
German.
But
wait, Ferrari is not German.
No, it's Italian also.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I see it as this is a nation, right? That they suffered tyranny.
Yeah.
They suffered fascism in its purest form, and they want to fight for their freedom.
It's an interesting
so they rebel.
theory.
And you are going to debunk it.
No, I mean,
okay.
It's just taken them a while, and they're just a bunch of restaurant owners opening
Look,
restaurants.
it's not easy. No, but also after that, the gyms
It's not like
started.
a violent rebellion.
Yeah. Look, it's the biggest rebellion I've seen in Europe.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's imminent also here. Also here, it's inevitable.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe people just hate lockdowns, like Eitan.
Yeah.
This Eitan that is
drives
anti-lockdowns.
me. It drives me. I'm gonna Weinstein about it, but it drives me crazy that you read in the news and they basically criminalize a wedding. It's like a wedding has become taboo. There's a wedding in Bnei Brak. Two people got married and they want to celebrate because. Oh my God! You don't care about the public health, and
you're
You're murderers, basically. You're murderers for having a wedding. And I get that Corona's real. I'm not Corona's real, but I don't think the ends justify the means. I think in the end, it's not about what's the total tally of death, right? Yeah. And I keep going back to the war. To the war parallel, like that's not the measure of whether or not a war is justified, or right. Sometimes you go to war, thousands of people die, tens of thousands, right? In World War II, when we fought Germany, hundreds of thousands, millions of people died. Was it not worth it because there were more dead? Would it have been better off if we just shut up and only 6 million Jews would have died? Like, it's not all about just how many people die. It's about what freedoms are there and, how people can live their day-to-day lives.
And you see here in Israel how pkidim, how do you call them? Like clerks, right?
Yeah.
Health ministry clerks. They decide whether or not we can stay at home or not, right? And they are reluctant to give that power away. So now we're on a lockdown. And you see the clerks, they're already like, we're not sure we're going to be able to end this lockdown when we said we will. We're not sure. We shall see. It depends.
Yeah.
It depends.
No,
and
but I mean, this pandemic changed our entire lives because now to think that once we were able to go to a show, sit down with friends without fearing, hey, where's my mask? Where's my mask? It's crazy to think that last year
when Hanani and I meet, I'm terrorizing him about the mask.
Well, yeah, Nora is terrorizing me because sometimes, hey, I love to talk, right? According to Nora, apparently that's a crime during this pandemic because then my mask comes. It's not covering my nose, which is a crime according to Nora, and so he yells at me. Yeah, so I'm
he's traumatized. Each time I'm passing through, he's like, "Oh my God!"
So that's abuse. That's abuse.
Yeah, it is.
I
think
thank you for turning
standing up against
for
the
not turning a
Menningers,
blind
the
eye
tyranny of the world. The Menningers of the world will not rule us.
No, but that's actually a good word about you, Nor, because you, if they tell you to put a mask on, you put a mask on, you cover your nose.
I'm sheeple, like all the sheep.
Sheep. I actually, hey, I don't think that it's. we see in the States people politicize this pandemic. They say, and I'm not talking about the Trump administration. I'm talking about, for example, I posted a video on my social media saying, hey, now we are all wearing a mask. But there are people that wore a mask even before this pandemic. And I mentioned the North Korean dictator, the dictator in Iran that were wearing masks of hypocrisy, hiding things. And then people commented saying, hey, and I wore a mask. I said that it helps protect you. And people commented saying, how dare you? I mean, it was a minority, but they said, how dare you promote this mask, basically. And I asked them, why are you afraid to wear a mask? And they said, oh, well, I'm not sure. I saw one comment. One man wrote, oh, I'm not sure what it does or what it doesn't do, but it's some sort of a slavery form, and we're not sure yet who we are. Whose slaves are we? And again, I think that the question here is, so why do doctors wear a mask when treating a patient? Why do people why do people willingly wear a mask in polluted cities to protect themselves?
But that's the thing, willingly, right?
Yeah,
that's the issue here.
That's the key. But I think that, so hey, if somebody tells you wear a mask, so why doing on purpose and going against it? Because hey, it's nobody loves to wear a mask. Nobody loves to wear a mask.
The counterpoint to that, I think Israel is now a good experiment, because in I don't know, a few weeks, the majority of the population is going to be vaccinated, right? We already are close to 80% of 60 plus were vaccinated.
Over
right?
2 million citizens were vaccinated.
Yeah. And that brings very interesting questions. For example, if, let's say, in a month from now, we came to the situation where everyone who wishes to be vaccinated will have been vaccinated. Okay? So now, why do we need to wear masks? Why? But you see the clerks, they're already saying, no, we're going to have to wear the masks, even long after the vaccines. And they are fining you for not doing so. So this begs the question, is it not maybe also political? Because if we're all vaccinated, except those who chose not to, and they chose to take the risk, then why do they impose masks still?
Did you get the vaccine?
Yes, of course.
You got the vaccine?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
He was on TV.
So he's part of the 5G.
I'm part of the
I
conspiracy.
told you he's working for the Chinese government.
QAnon. But you see my point? So it is a problem.
I think that it's a huge mistake when if politicians politicize this, because I think that it's a battle, it's a war that we're fighting. So I think that all we have to do is unite together against it, and not say that, hey, this mask perhaps makes you a slave, because it doesn't. It doesn't. Just wearing a mask is simply protecting yourself and
unless you're vaccinated.
Society. Unless you're vaccinated, yeah. But again, it's all new. This vaccine is new. The COVID-19 vaccine is new. So perhaps they're examining the effects of it and how effective it is. So maybe they just don't want you to take any chances.
Speaking of, did you see Kamala Harris's beautiful mask at the inauguration?
No. What did it say?
No, it's just this nice purple mask. They all had matching masks.
Are you cynical?
No, I heard.
No, I'm not.
Oh, serious?
I mean, I am.
I heard that she wore purple She wore purple purposely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because apparently it's the color of
Like blue and red?
No, like of women, like African American women from the past. I don't know. It has like significance.
Okay.
Of some sort.
Yeah, there's
Google
all these, but let's talk about the inauguration a little bit, about the upcoming presidency. How do you feel about Joe Biden?
So I think that, first of all, Israel went through has a great history with the United States, and I think that the alliance between Israel and the United States stems from our peoples. So Obviously, it would be gullible to say that it doesn't matter who is the president. We will remain friends. But I truly do believe that it doesn't matter who is going to be president, because we live in a world where democracies reign, and democracy means that the people are the boss, basically, and the president is a servant of the people. So the fact that the alliance stems from our peoples, it means that our alliance is still going to grow more and more, whether it's a Republican president or a Democrat president
or a libertarian president.
Who said that being a Republican or Democrat isn't promoting these ideas? But yeah, I think I'm pretty positive. I'm actually very positive, because, and I had this conversation with a lot of people. They told me, how could you be happy when such a president is now in office? And well, I'm not sure what about you guys, but I mean, I do believe that things happen for a reason, and I do believe that sometimes these things that happen for a reason are beyond our understanding, and because they happen for a reason, voila. So yeah, I'm pretty positive. I think that our relationship will continue to grow, and it doesn't matter what's going to happen.
Yesterday, there was the first controversy. Did you guys hear about it?
About
the executive order?
The Twitter account.
Yeah, the U.S. Embassy.
Want to tell the story?
So I actually read the title that the Twitter account of the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem, they changed the
name of the account.
Oh, the name, not the
name of the
description?
account. No, the name of the account
Oh.
was U.S. Embassy in Israel. And an hour after the inauguration, they changed it to U.S. Embassy in Israel, the territories and Gaza, or something like that, or Palestine and Gaza, something like that.
No, it was Gaza and the West Bank.
Gaza and the West Bank. Yes.
What?
Yes. They changed the
Is
name
it
of the
still
account.
that way?
And apparently, like, there
We
was
gotta check this.
no, it's
No,
not
they changed
still,
it back.
They changed it back after, but I guess phone calls were made, right? People yelled at each other, and
I think
huge pressure
That's
from
how things are
Israel,
solved in the Middle East.
and they changed it back. But I mean,
Yeah,
it tells the
it's-
story, right?
I mean, it doesn't make any sense, because this embassy is for Israel, and Israel has no responsibility over Gaza. Gaza is it's a Palestinian territory.
I'm not even sure if you can have an embassy
in one country for
no,
another.
no, the other is not a country.
Palestine is not even a country.
Can you have an embassy where there is no to a country that doesn't exist?
And that's bannable now. Shame on you for speaking like that about
Yeah, we're gonna delete
about
your
the
TikTok
Palestinian
account.
Authority.
But yeah,
Seriously.
that was a big deal, and it's just an hour after literally an hour in the first controversy,
Wow.
outrage.
I think that it shows how much power the bureaucrats have, because I'm sure that it's a decision that was made. I mean, obviously, it's not like
Maybe
and now
Joe
after the
Biden.
inauguration, he made a call. Hey, change this account's name. It's the bureaucrats that decide, and I think that it's. I mean, it's outrageous, honestly. I'm not referring just to that. I mean, it's outrageous that bureaucrats are able to determine policy.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you have a government that is, 20% of the people. 20% of the Israeli population is somehow employed by the government. Like 15-20%, like
Even
over a
more.
million people.
Oh, okay.
Over a million people, million and a half.
State employees.
You have a growing state. I mean, the state itself is taking over the population, both in the United States. It's funny because in the United States, they I always go back to this, but the reason they rebelled against the British was like they started taxing them like 2% or
Okay.
whatever, or 3%. Today, tax brackets in the United States are like, the highest tax bracket is like 50% of your income gets taken by the government.
It's insane.
I mean, they'd all have heart attacks if they heard it right now. It's just the world we live in. It's just,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
But it's democracy. This is how it works.
But Trump was a good president for Israel.
Yeah, honestly, I love the things that he did for the sake of Israel, and all I have is appreciation towards this president, because he fulfilled his promises. He made promises before entering the office, and he actually fulfilled them. And then to see people being angry at him for fulfilling his promises. I mean, hey, he said that he's going to do that. And, well, apparently it made a lot of people angry to see that, hey, how dare you declare Jerusalem as the capital of Israel? And in my opinion, it's not like we need a stamp of approval because it's our capital. It's not going to change that. It's just gonna approve it in greater levels, perhaps. Or moving the embassy that angers people, or
Golan Heights.
the Golan Heights, the Judea and Samaria. I mean, hey, obviously there is no question here that we have the Palestinians that deserve a solution. And I love Palestinians. I know that a lot of people, they perhaps thinks that we Israelis are not okay with the Palestinians, but I can speak on behalf of myself that I love the Palestinians and I want a solution for them. But I think that under the current leadership, under the dictator, if I may say,
They're going to have elections now.
Oh yeah. Of course, they're gonna have the election after he. Listen, Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian dictator, and again, I'm sorry for sounding radical, because I'm passionate about it.
There are two dictators.
Who?
One in Gaza and one.
Hamas and Fatah, yeah. And so it's actually stupid because he just entered his 17th year as president on his 4-year term. His 17th year, and now he announced the election. I think that he announced this election to appease the Biden administration, to come as, hey, we are Democrat. We're Democrats. We love democracy. And obviously, when I say Democrats, I don't refer to the political statement. I'm just saying promoting democracy. But then he doesn't allow his main rival. I forgot his name.
Dahlan.
Yeah. He doesn't allow his main
Dahlan.
rival to run against him.
He's in exile, actually. He doesn't even live here.
It makes
He's
sense
in,
because I think that if he would have lived in the Palestinian Authority,
would.
he'd be in jail right now.
Or in the ground.
Perhaps.
But
more
I
reasonable.
heard
It
maybe
is democratic. You could choose anybody you want. You can vote for anybody in Palestine. Not that guy. No, not that guy. Not that guy.
Yeah.
But
so
you
it's-
anybody vote for anybody. No, that guy. No, you can't. That guy's.
You see,
he's
I
just
mean-
not around. He's on vacation.
He's on
Have
a
you
leave.
heard about the party in Ramallah, in the church
No.
or in the mosque? There's this huge female DJ.
Yeah.
Heard about this story?
Yeah.
And she organized a party recently, a few weeks ago, I think in a mosque. And she's a big deal in the territories. Like, she's a huge a DJ and a young famous person, and she was arrested and she's in jail.
Well, that's actually not okay. I mean, having a party in a mosque shows some respect. No, I mean, I'm serious.
Really?
But in the same way that we wouldn't want to see a disrespect. I mean, again, I don't know what
No, but
party
it's not
was
a
it.
jail. It's
No,
not.
obviously not. But I mean, I wouldn't want to see a disrespectful party in a synagogue or in a church. So in the same way, let's implement the same standards when it comes to a mosque.
The question is if the mosque was okay with it. I'm assuming if it was like some renegade party.
Yeah, I don't know the details actually.
That's
Maybe
kind
it
of
was
important.
maybe-
Details are sometimes,
yeah,
they're
but
What
we
kind of
know
music do they
critical.
play there?
Yeah.
we're such a shallow
If they
podcast.
pl- yeah.
so-
If they played like Beyonce, they deserve to go to jail.
But how do you explain, Hanania, the fact that Jews here love Trump, whereas Jews in America despise him?
So I think that Jews in Israel love Trump because they love his foreign policy. When it comes to Israel, they appreciate the things that he is doing for Israel. Where in States, I think that the Jews there are more focused on his internal policy, where they perhaps dislike him for his internal policy. And again, what I'm focused on is his. Listen, as an Israeli and as a Jew, when I look at him, at the things that he had done, he did great stuff. Not, I mean, hey, I see the things that he did for the sake of Israel. I see how he is so boldly standing for America against dictators, against the Islamic regime in Iran. I mean, I'm thankful.
He put Iran on its knees.
Yeah, where under the previous administration, we saw U.S. soldiers on their knees taken into the Iranian regime took them as hostages under the previous administration. So it's just, I mean, how can you not be thankful for that this leader? And I'm sorry, Eitan, that I'm making you uncomfortable.
No. I love all those things.
I'm kidding.
I love all those things.
No, but because how can we not be thankful to see him standing against dictators? And I'm not saying that Biden is not going to do that, or he's unable to do that.
He's not.
And he's unable.
You think that he's unable?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to. But I'll tell you why I am thankful, but
I hope though.
I'm bitter as well.
I hope that he's going to do that. I hope that
I don't think
the current administration will continue this pace.
No way.
I don't know if the current administration is going to be Biden for very long. I mean, watching the inauguration, he can't he can't speak coherently. Anyway, it's an issue. We might be dealing with President Harris very soon, but. I mean, the guy's 78.
78?
Sharon was prime minister.
78.
Sharon was prime minister, I think, until he was 83 or 82.
Are you sure 78?
So he's the
Biden, yes.
I thought he was much older.
Exactly. He's the oldest president in American history. Oldest president.
78. That's young.
Yeah.
But I think Churchill was also until he was 80 something.
I mean, but these guys were lucid. I'll tell you why I'm embittered by Trump is because of just the way things ended. I mean, what the hell, man?
Yeah, that was.
What the hell? Like, I'm not going as far as CNN and all the crazies in America who are like, he basically led an attack on the Capitol. As far as they're concerned, the guy with the face paint. That's Trump. That's Trump in disguise. But obviously he didn't. He didn't tell anybody to go. But just let it go, man. Know how to lose.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think that it's always smart to pursue peace at any cost. Because I mean, storming the capital is something that pains my heart. And I'm in Israel, so to imagine what patriots in America feel must be really
they were
painful.
Hundreds of meters away from Pence. They didn't realize how close he was. Yeah.
But again, if I may, I don't think that it represents the Republican Party. It represents radicals, just like we have in Israel, radicals that create a lot of noise, make a lot of noise. So I think that this is the case here. It doesn't represent, but obviously the media, CNN, they're gonna say this is the Republican Party. This is this and that. So obviously it doesn't represent the majority, but it's just
absolutely.
a crazy
but Trump has to be held accountable. Forget the Capitol. The Capitol, which I do think there is a cause and effect there. I don't think he should be held solely and wholly responsible for the attack on the Capitol, but there is a cause and effect, and I think he should be held accountable for the way he speaks, meaning pursue every avenue in, you believe that you were cheated and that the elections were stolen. I'm absolutely all for you suing but he lost like 50 cases. I mean, there was zero evidence of the fact that he was actually, so give up. Don't stop talking in this like inflaming, rhetoric, and that's why I'm bittered by him. But I think I agree with you on all the, everything he did during his term was incredible.
And the peace he brought here. I don't think people in America, I can't blame them, right? They're in COVID and they have other things in mind, but I don't think people realize the the change
Yeah,
that
that
took place
we feel
here. And one of the interesting things, guys, right now in Israel is that Netanyahu, on his campaign, now he aims to get votes from Israeli Arabs, Israeli Palestinians. And the rationale is that those peace deals he brought him huge support for Israeli Arabs because it opened business avenues for them in the Emirates, in Bahrain, in Morocco. How do you see those deals?
It's incredible because listen, in decades we didn't have any progress in peace, and now to see how, I mean, it's
People write you from those states?
yeah. I'm happy that I made new friends from the UAE, from Bahrain, and you know, it honestly makes me happy because, I mean, all of us are obviously happy because after decades of no progress, we see peace with Arab countries, with Sudan. That in Sudan they promoted the three no's: no to negotiation with Israel, no to recognition, no to normalization.
The Khartoum Accords.
Yeah. So I mean, to see Sudan where this happened, making peace with Israel, I think that the Arab world, they realize that Israel is not the obstacle to peace.
We're here to stay, first of all.
Yeah, we are here to stay. Israel is the solution to peace and a partner, a peace partner. Where else they see that the Palestinians, I mean, and when I say the Palestinians, I'm talking about their leaders, they're not interested in peace. Mahmoud Abbas, he gains from this conflict. So I don't think that he is interested in having peace with Israel because hey, we offered the Palestinians peace again and again and again and again. Some offers were even too generous, like giving up almost all of Judea and Samaria, going back to the 67 lines. And when I say 67 lines, I'm talking about the war, obviously. So it's just, I mean, how can you not accept such an offer? I mean, I oppose this offer by all means, but I mean, how can you not accept this generous offer? Because it's good for you. It's bad for us Israelis. Unless you're not interested in having peace,
Or just stupid.
that too.
But how do you explain the Arab Israeli Knesset members voting against the peace accords in the Knesset?
Well, in my opinion,
What?
it's just stupid.
See above. They're either don't want peace or they're stupid.
Yeah.
I'll tell you more. I think that they are terrorist supporters. We have terrorist supporters in the Israeli Knesset, and it just shows all of us that this is democracy in Israel. That even these people, and again, they don't represent the Arabs in Israel by all means. I have Arab friends that hate them. They hate their Knesset representatives. They say they don't represent us. They represent themselves and the terrorists in the Palestinian Authority. Because how can you not vote in favor of peace between Israel and the UAE, peace between Israel and Bahrain, unless you're against peace, unless you're against the state of Israel, unless you're against the existence of the state of Israel, of this country? It's just crazy that we have within our Knesset and the holiest democratic place in Israel, terrorist supporters. And again, this is democracy. This is democracy.
The price of
previously, I remember that we had a conversation in a previous episode where I think you, Eitan, you said that we talked about the squad being a threat, and I said, hey, perhaps it's good to silence them or to stand up to them, and you said, hey, but it's a good warning to see this happening in the United States of America, because this is a minority, but a minority that is perhaps growing. I don't know, that we should pay attention to, not in like to listen to, but to know how to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to let people speak so you can hear their stupidity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because listen, I don't want to silence this squad. I want to debunk their lies, and that's why I'm so passionate about social media, because I think that this is a great tool to converse with people and to change opinions. I had this one story where even this recent story that I made a friend in the UAE. I went live with her on Instagram, and she began to cry. And she said that I apologize. She kept on saying I'm sorry, and that was live. I'm so disappointed that we didn't save this live stream. But yeah, so she began to cry, and she said, "I'm sorry for growing for believing in the lies that the Palestinians sold us," something like that. She basically realized that she was lied to about Israel. So I think that the best thing to promote peace is to have conversations. Meet your not opponent, but meet your partner.
Your counterpart. Yeah, the best answer, I think, to hate speech is more speech and not, silencing.
Yeah. More speech is the solution to hate speech.
Yeah.
But also to be bold and to speak up, because sometimes Jews in Europe, they message me and they say, how do you speak against anti-Semites? Because here in France, for example, this is the message that I got here in France. I'm scared to wear a Magen David necklace and to walk with that. Mm-hmm. Obviously the ideal is that those anti-Semites should be scared, not us, because they are criminals, not us.
Unfortunately, that's never been the scenario in Europe, and that's why they should come here. Really, I think any Jew that has their wits about them should pick up their shit and come to Israel. I mean, that's how I feel.
Well, Israel is the Jewish homeland.
Yeah.
Hanania, what can we plug? Where can we find you? Where can people reach out to you?
Well, just search for my name, Hanania Naftali. I wasn't original enough, so that's my name on social media. Although you could, guys, I hope you approve of me as a nice Jewish boy.
Yes.
The third.
Third, yeah.
Nice Jewish boy, the third.
So yeah, Hanania Naftali on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
Check it out. Highly recommended content. And now, before we go, we are sponsored by The Forward.
Yes, The Forward. Go to forward.com/2njb for an exclusive offer for podcast listeners. You get 6 months for $15. Okay, 6 months for $15. Forward is a great source of news and opinion all through a Jewish lens. Forward.com/2njb.
Yes, also, Arutz Sheva, IsraelNationalNews.com. The Israeli source in English for news and opinions. Highly recommended. Check them out. And then AJN.timesofisrael.com. Also, Australian Jewish News.
Also support the podcast, Australian Jewish News.
Yes.
So AJN.timesofisrael.com. Check them out.
And that is it.
Finally, we do this on our free time. We accept donations. So if you want to help us out, to njb.com/donate.
Hanania, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys for inviting me.
Will you come again?
It was a pleasure. I would love to.
Okay, we'll do that.
Recurring guest. We'll have Hanania Naftali Part 3.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.